Welcome to another video of Trident Mentors. Trident Mentors hoike hokolo chhatro chhatri aru porikkhar prathik swagatam janaisu. The videos will be divided into three main parts: newspaper analysis, question paper analysis, and subject-wise discussion on the GS paper. Well, the videos have been designed in a way to help those who are already into serious civil service preparations, as well as those who are planning to start their preparation. Any serious candidate understands the significance and importance of newspaper reading. There are lots of sources to get information and news at the national level, like Hindu, etc. But there is hardly any credible source to view the news from a regional perspective. In this video, we have picked up news from the state, from the region, and other news of national and international importance. And here we begin with the first week of September. The first news that we have picked up is the 47th DG level coordination meeting between Border Security Force of India and Border Guards Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh have lots of issues to settle. Now, the issues raised by the Indian side in this particular meeting were illegal migration, cattle smuggling, drugs and human trafficking, attacks on BSF by Bangladeshi criminals, various trans-border crimes, activities of Indian insurgent groups, and various measures for the effective implementation of the comprehensive border management plan. At the same time, there is a reminder that Bangladesh was created in 1971 with the active support of India after the Indo-Pakistan War. India and Bangladesh shares a border stretch of 4,096 kilometers, which is huge. We all are more or less aware about the Bangladeshi migration issue. However, interestingly, Bangladesh has so far never officially admitted about large-scale illegal migration to the Northeast region. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act was enacted by the then Nehru government in 1958. In simple terms, AFSPA gives armed forces power to maintain public order in disturbed areas. Now, what is a disturbed area? An area can be declared as a disturbed area due to disputes between members of different religious, racial, language, or regional groups, or it can be caste or communities as well. Usually, an area is declared as a disturbed area by the Union Home Ministry or the governor of that particular state. Presently, AFSPA is in force in 4 states in India, which are Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, and the state of Jammu and Kashmir. AFSPA has been withdrawn from the state of Meghalaya recently, and before that it was withdrawn from the state of Tripura. The next news is about India's missile deal with Russia. India is going to get high-end S-400 Triumph air defense missile systems from Russia. Now, a missile defense system is a type of missile defense intended to shield a country against incoming missiles. There was a news about the State Forensic Science Laboratory. This organization was established in Shillong in 1967. Back then, Shillong was the capital of Assam. Forensic Science Laboratory of Assam received cases from Assam Police, Meghalaya Police, Nagaland Police, Mizoram Police, Tripura Police, Manipur Police, and Arunachal Pradesh Police. It also receives cases from many central organizations such as Central Excise, Customs, NIA, CBI, Indian Railways, etc. Although originally it was under the Assam Police, now it has a separate directorate under the Home Department of Government of Assam. There was a news about Chief Minister's visit of Bogibeel Bridge. This bridge is over river Brahmaputra. The completion of this bridge has already been delayed by many years. As per report, the bridge will be complete by the beginning of next year, that is 2019. The foundation was laid by former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda in 1997, and the construction was inaugurated by former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2002. The construction of this bridge is being taken care by the construction wing of Northeast Frontier Railways. It will enhance surface connectivity between several Upper Assam districts and Arunachal Pradesh as well. Once completed, this bridge is going to be the country's longest road rail bridge at 4.94 kilometers. It was a part of the Assam Accord which was signed in 1985. The following news is about Right to Public Services Act. Assam Right to Public Services Act was enacted in 2012 to provide services to the citizens in a timely manner. It is like a citizen charter. It intends to create an integrated platform for all citizens to apply online for any type of public service. The next news is about the red fever in Kerala after that devastating flood. Red fever or leptospirosis is a bacterial infection which causes high fever and muscle pain. It spreads through the urine of infected animals. It can affect both humans and animals. The next news is about something called fly ash, which is coming from Bihar to Assam. Now, fly ash is a byproduct of coal burning in thermal power plants. It is used as a raw material in cement and brick industries. This consignment of fly ash will travel through two national waterways, National Waterways 1 and 2. There are 111 officially notified Indian national waterways as per the National Waterways Act 2016. In this case, National Waterways 1 is from Haldia till Allahabad. It travels through Ganga, Bhagirathi and Hooghly river system. And National Waterways 2 stretches from Dhubri till Sadia over river Brahmaputra, which is a stretch of 891 kilometers. The next news is about a bridge over the Feni river in Tripura. This bridge is being built by India, which is 150 meters long, and it will connect Tripura and Bangladesh. Once completed, it will be the gateway to the Northeast India. Recently, there was a news about ranking of banks in Manipur. What the Manipur government has decided is to rank all the banks that are operating in the state. The government will deposit its money in these banks totally based on this ranking. The next news is about foreign direct investment in India for the financial year 2017-18. Mauritius has topped the list, followed by Singapore. Sector-wise, communication services has found maximum investment, followed by manufacturing. The next news is about India's performance in 18th Jakarta Asian Games, which was held in Indonesia. India's overall position was 8th in the list. India managed to get 69 medals with 15 golds. It was India's best performance in the Asian Games till date. There was a news about a tragic accident on Dikho River of Upper Assam. Few facts about this river. Dikho River flows from the Naga Hills. In Nagaland, it is known as the Nonga River. Nazira and Sivsagar are the main towns on its banks. Historically, this river is significant for Assam. Orunodoy, the first Assamese language magazine, which was published in 1846, was printed in a press situated on the bank of this Dikho River. Here is another news of national importance, which talks about the cost of simultaneous election. The Law Commission of India has recently recommended holding of simultaneous polls both for the center and in the state. The Law Commission of India is an executive body and it was established in 1955. Its major function is to work for legal reform. It is a recommendatory body. The report talks about few details of the EVM, electronic voting machine. According to Election Commission of India, each EVM costs 33,200 rupees. Each EVM has 3 parts: a control unit, a ballot unit, and VVPAT. VVPAT stands for Voter Verifiable Paper Audit Trail. It is used to verify that the vote polled by a voter goes to the correct candidate. They are like second line of verification, which is useful in the time when allegations about tampering with EVM are cropping up. Article 35A of the Constitution of India has been heavily discussed and debated in the recent times. This article deals with the special provision awarded to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. As per this article, the state has its own rights to define a permanent resident of the state, and accordingly, it can provide special rights and privileges to those permanent residents. The next news is about Bru refugee repatriation from Tripura to Mizoram. In the 90s, more than 32,000 Bru or Riang tribes were displaced from their homes in Mizoram, and they started living in the refugee camps of Jampui Hills in Tripura. As per a recent agreement between these two states, these refugees were supposed to move back to their home, but this exercise has not been as successful as planned. There was good news about a movie from the Northeast named Three Smoking Barrels. It is a multilingual film which explores the trials and tribulations of the Northeastern people. It has already won many awards from across the world. This movie addresses the issues of gun use, armed conflict, and poaching. There was a news about community tourism in Assam. Talks about the scheme called Amar Alohi, which means our guest. It is a rural homestay scheme framed by the tourism department of government of Assam. The intention of this Amar Alohi scheme is to create self-employment opportunities for educated youths in rural and semi-urban areas from across the state. Next news is about the setup of Silk Yarn Bank of Assam. This bank has been set up at Kwalkusi. Kwalkusi is located on the north bank of river Brahmaputra, and it is one of the largest weaving villages of the world. It is referred as Manchester of Assam. The purpose of this Silk Yarn Bank is to provide raw materials to the weavers at market price with 20% subsidy. The next news is about flood in Jonai. Jonai is a subdivision of Dhemaji district in Upper Assam. Jonai is inhabited primarily by the missing tribe. They constitute 95% of the total population. An interesting fact about Jonai is that its literacy rate is much higher than the national level. Talking about flood and monsoon, this year the monsoon in the northeast has faced 27% less rainfall as per Indian Meteorological Department's report. Indian Meteorological Department, or IMD, was established in 1875. Presently, it is headquartered in New Delhi. We have been hearing news of Rafale fighter jets for various reasons. Few facts you should know about these fighter jets. Rafale fighter jets are designed and built by Dassault Aviation of France. While getting these Rafale fighter jets from France, India will also get latest weapons like the Meteor and Scalp missiles as part of the deal. Meteor is a beyond visual range air-to-air missile that is possibly the best in its class. Its range is 100 kilometers. Scalp can take out targets with extreme accuracy. It has a range of 300 kilometers. Next important news is about the Supreme Court of India legalizing consensual gay sex. The news talks about section 377 of the IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. The Supreme Court has not struck down section 377 in its totality, as many might tend to believe. Only few aspects of section 377 has been struck down by the court. Other aspects of 377 dealing with unnatural sex with animals and children still remain in force. Gay sex was legalized by Delhi High Court in 2009. However, it was overturned 4 years later by the Supreme Court on appeal. Speaking of IPC, Indian Penal Code, it was drafted in 1860 on the recommendation of the first Law Commission of India, which was established in 1834 under the chairmanship of Lord Macaulay. IPC came into force in 1862. Here is a point to remember that IPC is uniformly applicable across the country except in the state of J&K. The state of J&K has its own penal code known as Ranveer Penal Code, that is RPC. Another good news of the week was about Gaganyaan, India's proposed manned space mission. Gaganyaan was declared by the Indian Prime Minister in his Independence Day speech on 15th of August. India is going to collaborate with France for this mission. India's space missions are carried out by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. This organization was established in 1969 and it was brought under the Department of Space in 1972. The first chairperson of India's space missions are carried out by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. ISRO was established in 1969 and it was brought under the Department of Space in 1972. The first chairperson of ISRO was Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai is known as the father of Indian space mission. Let's not forget that Vikram Sarabhai's favorite student, went on to become the missile man of India. Yes, we are talking about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Next piece of important international news is the Comcasa Defense Pact between India and the US. Comcasa was signed during the first ever 2+2 talks between these two countries. Now, what is the 2+2 dialogue? The first ever 2+2 dialogue between India and the US saw India's External Affairs Minister and Defense Minister holding discussions with their American counterparts simultaneously. The Comcasa Pact will give Indian military access to function on high-end secured and encrypted communication equipment which are installed on American platforms like Apache and Chinook helicopters. The following news is about Ronghar from Sivasagar district in Assam. Ronghar is regarded to be the largest of the amphitheaters in Asia. It was built by Pramod Singha. Ronghar is being conserved by the Archaeological Survey of India. Speaking of Archaeological Survey of India, it was established in 1861 and headed by Alexander Cunningham for the first time. Presently, it is headquartered in New Delhi and it works under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. It is governed by Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. Here is another good news about this Assam Darpan portal, which is also known as DM Dashboard. This portal or website provides details of government schemes and projects to the people. It includes National Food Security Act, Swachh Bharat Mission, MG and drugs, etc. Dhubri was the first district in Assam to get this portal. The next important news talks about BS6 fuel, that is Bharat Stage 6 fuel. India is about to leapfrog from BS4 to BS6, keeping the BS5 norms altogether. The harmful sulfur content in BS6 fuel is substantially lower than that of BS4 fuel. BS6 engines are designed in a different way and carry additional equipment and software in the engine and the exhaust system. BS6 compliant fuel has already been made available in Delhi and the surrounding regions. Here comes the news of the latest athletic sensation of the country, Hima Das. Hima Das created record with a hat-trick. He went on to win 1 gold and 2 silvers in the recently concluded Jakarta Asian Games. There was another good news of 15-year-old Hridoy Hazarika winning the gold in men's junior 10-meter air rifle world championship, which was held in South Korea. Next news is about Assam's Panchayat and Rural Development Department. The department has been conferred the Best State Award among the Northeastern states, Himalayan states and the Union territories. The award has been conferred for effective implementation of Prime Minister's Awas Yojana Gramin scheme. Speaking of the Himalayan states, it includes 3 states, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Here is another inspiring news of women power in India. It talks about Navika Sagar Parikrama team visiting the Sainik school in Gwalpada. In the northeast, apart from Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh also have Sainik school. In total, India has 28 of them. The next is an interesting piece of news from the Indian Railways. It has been termed as Plan B. Elephants are allergic to honeybees. So what happens here? The device that generates the buzz of honeybees is installed at the level crossings, and accordingly, it stops the elephants from being hit by speeding trains. Elephants are allergic to honeybees. What is done here is that a device that generates the buzz of honeybees is installed at the level crossings, and it stops these elephants from being hit by speeding trains in these regions. And this method has yielded results for Indian Railways. The last piece of important news of the week was the governor of Assam visiting the Madhupur Satra in Coach Bihar district of West Bengal. The Satra was built in 15th century. It is also known as Doh Mukutar Than. Great Vaishnavite saint Srimant Shankardev died here in 1568. So with that, we come to the end of news updates for the week. Dear aspirants, we'd like to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel.
This inspires us to work more for you. Thank you for watching.